Have you ever just been completely stuck trying to make a big decision? Wishing you had some kind of clear, unbiased roadmap to the best possible choice. Well, today, we're going to dive into a new kind of technology that's designed to do exactly that, help you make smarter decisions and way faster.
We've all been there. From the tiny little choices we make every day to those huge, life-altering ones, we are just swimming in a world of overwhelming options. It's really the decision dilemma of modern life.
So, does this sound familiar to you? Maybe you're trying to pick a new car, or figure out a career path, or heck, even just find a healthier meal plan. You're just flooded with information, right? But somehow none of it seems to actually point to a clear, confident answer.
And the problem here, it goes way deeper than just having too many options. A lot of the time, the reasons to choose one thing over another are kind of vague, or what you might call ill-defined. It's not clear how one factor is being weighed against another. And there's usually no easy way for us to just step in and say, hey, hold on. For me, this one thing right here, that's the most critical part of the whole decision.
So all of this, it brings up a huge question for our digital age, right? Can we actually build a powerful tool, a so-called SuperAPP, that acts as a hub for solving these problems to help us navigate all this complexity? But, and this is the big but, do it while preserving our privacy.
Well, the proposed answer is a whole new way of looking at the problem. And this is where the Abacari SuperAPP comes into the picture. It's built on this foundation of three really core principles: privacy, control, and total clarity.
Okay, so first and foremost, it's privacy preserving. This is not about shipping your personal data off to some company's remote server for them to analyze. Nope. The idea is simple. Your data stays with you, right there on your device, period.
And the reason that's possible is because the whole system is decentralized. So think of it this way. Instead of putting your entire decision-making process in a public library for anyone to see, you're keeping it in your own personal locked diary. You have full control because the information lives with you, not on some central server somewhere.
And finally, the whole process is explainable. This is not some magic black box that just spits out an answer and expects you to take it on faith. The app is actually designed to show you exactly how it got to its recommendation. And that transparency, well, that's absolutely key for building trust. When you can see the logic, you can trust the outcome.
And beyond those core principles, the whole Abacari framework is also designed to be self-learning, which means it actually gets smarter over time. It's scalable, it's always evolving, and it brings all of this incredible power together into one single, clean user interface.
Okay, so we get the what and we get the why. But what about the how? How does this thing actually work under the hood? Let's take a look inside the patented Abacari method.
So, the secret sauce here is this patented methodology. It's a really unique process built on something called hybrid computing, which, in simple terms, just means it combines different ways of thinking about problems to come up with a solution. And this method is designed specifically for taking a huge mess of options and ranking them clearly for you.
The process itself is pretty straightforward. It follows 4 logical steps. First, the system identifies all the possible options. Second, and this is the really cool part, you get to set the criteria and decide how important each one is. Third, the app crunches all the numbers and gives you a ranked list. And finally, it even analyzes risk, showing you how the results might change if your priorities were to shift just a little bit.
All right, so that's the theory. Now let's see how this actually works out in the real world.
So, the ecosystem kind of works like this. You've got one central super app that's like a hub. And inside that hub, you have lots of different specialized mini apps. Each one of those mini apps is tailor-made for a specific, really complex decision. So for example, there's a mini app for vehicle selection, another one called the Entrepreneur Navigator to help you launch a business, one for becoming a more informed citizen, and there's even one planned for healthy food choices. Each one is built to tackle a specific, high-stakes part of life.
And to really drive home just how unique this approach is, the creators make a pretty bold claim. They say that in the G7, the world's most advanced economies, there is no equivalent.
So, what does this all mean for the future of how we make choices? A technology like this could seriously change how we approach the biggest decisions in our lives.
So, if you boil it all down, here's the main takeaway. What we're looking at is the beginning of a tool that's designed to bring clarity and real confidence to life's biggest, messiest decisions. And the goal is to do all of that without ever compromising our fundamental right to privacy.
Let me just leave you with this final thought. We get instruction manuals for assembling furniture or figuring out a new coffee maker, but what if our biggest, most important life decisions came with one too? What do you think would change for you?